Alright, filming. It's Tuesday the 15th of March 2022. Had some flooding discovered, or water leaking in here in the basement. This is the music room, the room that's against the back of the townhouse. It was coming in, I think, from that corner there because it was really wet down there. I think it runs along the floors to the corner here, and then it was making its way under the carpet in the other room, that room there. So the carpet was just put in a few years ago after our initial flooding from upstairs in the home. It cost thousands of bucks. I don't want to lose that and have to rip it up, so there's a few tips on drying by putting cutting a small little X in the carpet in a place where it would be hidden, normally like under the chair or my stereo stand. You put your shop vac in reverse and it blows warm air in there. So I'm doing that. I've got a dehumidifier going, so I've already pulled up a bucket of water. I originally wet vacked up the water that was there. It wasn't absolutely sopping wet, but it was certainly wet enough to get a soaker when I walked across it and found it out, discovered it. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to try to save the carpet. It is drying up. Like I say, the dehumidifier sucked up a certain amount of water already, which is good, and it's continuing to do so. It does feel drier down here, so we've got like the spring runoff, so it may have been all this snow that was packed up against the screen door, the patio door, that leads to the deck out back. I feel like it was melting and it probably got in along the wall, and there's probably a crack in the foundation somewhere. And so the screen door would be, sliding door, patio door, would be just above that corner there, which is where I think the trouble is. So I've taken off the baseboard, and I've cut the first 4 inches or so just to get it exposed. There's a little bit of mold, not enormous amounts, but I want to make sure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all this equipment first of all, move it away, leave that TV up for now. Speakers, drum set, pull out the carpets, get this equipment cabinet out of here, get the cables away. I'm going to cut this blanket off the wall. I'm going to cut maybe 4 or 5 feet. I'll start with maybe 4 feet of this drywall panel here. Cut that, yank that off, just to see if there's a crack in the foundation. I was looking up here in the rafters and I don't see wetness. I didn't pull away the vapor barrier and move the insulation, but like I haven't seen, you'd think if it was dripping from right up there, the top there of that drywall in the finished section here would have been wet. I don't notice that. I have a moisture meter. Upper walls aren't bad, but down in the bottom, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, where that blue vapor barrier was used. So that end base of the drywall there, that's damp. It just goes above the charts. I'll show you in a little bit with my meter. I want to pull stuff away so there's light so you can see it. But anyways, I'm going to see what's going on. I think the floor is shot, so I'm going to lift up. Once this is all moved, I'll lift up the first 4 panels or boards of this. I think it's a laminate, so yeah, I think that's going to get pulled up. I may have to just take all out. This wall here, that's between the 2 rooms, so it's also not really wet. On the other side it did get wet, so I've cut the 4 or so inches up. This side doesn't seem wet. The meter doesn't really detect much moisture. But again, this section here, where I'm sure it was running along this back wall and it got whipped up by this piece of drywall here, that's all damp. This stuff here, maybe I can get the meter and show you right now while we're rolling. Okay, so here's the meter. I hope you guys can hear me. Alright, so the meter, turn it on. So it's set to house, like meaning you're not going to be putting it in like actual firewood or your outdoor patio wood or whatever. So set to inside, nothing there. So I'm just going to go as an example. Get it in here a little bit. Okay, so is it? I don't know if this is focusing properly, so there. So it kind of makes its way and then it drops down 2.2. I don't know why it's not holding. Oh, maybe because it kind of loses its connection. 3.8%. It flutters, but I don't think that's horrible. Now let's get in to here. Again, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so I'm just going to even just put it up against. So what are we at? 3.5. So on the outside, 2 to 3. Push it in, it jumps to 26 or so, and then you can see the bar there. It's just over the scale. Pull back out, drops down to whatever the room moisture is. Okay, it's zeroed. Try to get it right back in the same holes. So you see 24, 26, 31, and then just right off the chart. So moisture content in here is, I mean, it feels wet. So I gotta pull that down. I don't know if I just cut the bottom. Maybe I'll start with the bottoms. Like go up, there's this I don't know what you call that there, barn board or wainscoting. Anyways, this fancy looking stuff that they added in here with the trim. So I'll pull that off, cut that first bit out and see. Because I don't know, they did some weird, I don't know if this wallpapering or textured. They got the outcropping here, but I'd like to redo it all someday. I just don't know if this stuff needs to be done. So it's low. Yeah, it's not going off the chart, so I have a feeling that's okay. And anyways, that's the wall between the one neighbor on the one side and me anyways, so you know, as long as there's no plumbing flooding. And I don't think the crack is up top and then channeling along the wall going down. I'm sure it's coming right down in the corner, hitting the floor, you know, finding the path of least resistance, which is going in along the back there. If I have other cracks in the rest of the wall, I mean, again, I checked under the windowsill and everything. I've looked everywhere. I don't see any signs of it. It was a bit damp down there, but it could have been leaking in spots for years. So at some point, I got to take this whole wall down. And see what's going on, and it could use to be redone anyways. It was it's framed with wood, and so I think if I redid it, I'll reframe it with aluminum. And come out here, so this wall in between the rooms was done with aluminum framing. So I mean, you know, if there was more flooding down the road, at least that wouldn't rot or grow mold. Anyhow, okay, so I'm going to put this down and get a couple of things moved. I'm going to leave this running. If it has battery power, it will continuously run. And I'll just add stuff in between. Alright. Things I can get in here on the dry side of the room. And I'll cover it with some plastic. I'm going to move this out of here though. Fan. Don't want a fan blowing here. I'm taking drywall out, so I don't want it blowing in my face. action cam memory card filled up, and I don't want to take the time to like download everything. Anyways, just wanted to show you. So I've got this kind of covering type of board off this wall here. Here's the weird job they did. Weird texture paint or wallpaper up there. Nice brown here. I don't know why they just didn't leave that brown. It's pretty rotted out at the bottom. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to cut that out. Anyways, and then this outcropping they built. A lot of plaster there, or drywall compound. Weirdly done, banged up. That wasn't from me pulling the board off, I don't think, unless they glued the boards on and I ripped it apart, but this is a real mess. This light switch here, it's hardly put in well. Anyways, at some point I'm going to take this out. I'll put that in the back wall. But if I can leave it, I will. This doesn't feel wet. I'm going to take it off. This here, this feels damp. Definitely damp along the bottom here, so I'm going to cut that along there, down there first. I'm taking, maybe I'll cut it right to there, to this transition here. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to finish the recording. I'll just take some pictures later on. All right, I have taken off the all the film, all the videos from the card, so I've got room for more. Now I'm going to cut some of the drywall out of there. It's going to get loud, I imagine.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
That side off, this side off, and I see that there have been leaks in the foundation before, or cracks or whatever. So you got one fix here, you got one fix over there, maybe more up top. I mean, it's damp. I don't know exactly yet where it's coming out. It's not really wet in the wall there on the side, so my guess is that it was this one here coming down. I don't see water right now, so that's good. Board's wet, but it's not terribly mold. I don't really see a lot of mold. Even that's just a stain down there. So definitely, I mean, this board, it's a good 1.5 feet, eh? And some mold up, but that was the bottom of it down there, so you know there was going to be some down in there. So this flooring is going to come up at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planks worth at least, I'm sure, just to get a feel. I'm going to bring the dehumidifier in here and give it a good clean before I do that. And at some point I'm going to take these panels off. Maybe this one on the back wall, but if this is the problem here on the side, then yeah. Again, I mean, there's a crack down here, so maybe it just needs to be reapplied, or I've got some liquid tar, I'll spray it with that. Oh well, okay. The leaking seems to have stopped at least. I don't see patches over there. At some point I'll take the TV down and I'll take this one off as well, because I do want to take this whole frame, the butt out or whatever you call it. It's unnecessary, it just takes up space, so I'll take it back. If the framing's okay, it'll stay. If I redo this, I'll have to decide, or I'll leave it maybe just unfinished for a while. And at some point, I guess this whole big back wall is going to come off just to see what's going on, because again, if I don't want mold growing in the back, and there may be other leaks. All right, yeah, I'm going to just do a bit of cleanup, so I'm not going to videotape it. I don't know when I'll have a chance to work on it more, but I'll get the drying process, get this stuff out in the garbage tonight, because it is garbage night, and come back, get rid of these cables and these silly holders and dowels that I set up, get rid of that stuff, and then take more off. Alright, seems to have stopped. We'll see if, when the snow's melting some more as the weather gets warmer, I'll see if I get more. At least now I can see. I'll be able to see if there's water coming in. I'll see if I have any of that black tar spray and maybe cover these guys up. Take some pictures before I do in case they has to be repaired. I thought stuff was always done where it's kind of it's got some sort of softness to it. It's like a resiny stuff, but I don't know. Anyhow, you know, you can do it yourself, so I'll find out. I want to find out if there's more up there, because there could be. I don't have a flashlight with me right now, but and there's no flash on this camera, but it could be wet up there too. The thing is, so there's wood here from the framing, and then there's insulation you can't really see. I'll check it out. All right, it's a bit of enough hard labor for the day, and I still have cleanup to do, so more to come. Okay, gonna pull up a few floorboards now that I've cleaned up and gotten most of the gear out of the way. Got a bad knee. I think I'm on an angle, but whatever. They glued this stuff together, or if it's coming in larger sheets. It's normally planks. Anyways, it's been hard to pull apart, so I had to cut a couple rows out just so I could work with it. Now I may be able to pry it up with the hammer and just crack it. Anyways, The wood itself doesn't seem to be wet underneath. It's got this whatever kind of layment is down, which is basically dry on the top, but underneath it's all wet and locked up underneath. So anyways, yeah, at least I'm gonna take the whole floor up at some point. I'll get another few rows and try to let it dry up. So we'll see. We'll go from there. All right. I also probably need a new blade or a different blade. And I believe what they did, I remember what I saw, yeah. So the floor comes out to the edge of the carpet here, and then they drilled the framework into it. So that's why I wasn't able to pull the boards out in that corner. So I'll just have to trim it at the edge there, because I don't know. This wall is just not good. I'll leave it up for now. All right, I don't think I'm going to film the cleanup. I got to take a supper break soon. But yeah, it's pretty gross. I'll have to get my mold spray. I don't know if that's just, if it is mold or what. Probably is. So I've got a mold spray, and then the tile is just gross. The original tile. I don't know if I'll end up pulling that up. Probably will. Get one of those tile scrapers at Home Depot. But this stuff here, this is all wet. Probably wet a few feet in. Maybe 8 feet, who knows. It's gross, a lot of work. Lovely. Alright, that's it for now. Alright, another day. So, there was some mold on the floor, which I'll deal with when I rip up the tiles. Gotta get one of those tile scrapers. For now, I put duct tape down just to cover it up so I don't disturb it. I did spray with my mold control, so it might be dead, but I don't want to disturb it and be breathing it in. Got my mask on, some eyeglasses. Gonna take down, I don't know, 4 feet of that wall, three or 4 feet. 4 feet. Up to the ceiling. Got to take the track off from the old drop ceiling. Already mashed up my finger from not putting the glove on when I was just seeing how hard the nails were going to be to get out. Alright, so in any case, set this up on the table. There we go. My batteries on the action cam thing died on me, so just gonna give a little update because I gotta take a break soon. Back wall, I don't know, 7 feet or so are now off. Well, almost all off. Haven't even started with the floor here. I wanted to get more of the floor off, but so like these fixes or repairs are all along the back. So they've probably had extensive flooding in the past. Their framing it's wet. I don't think it's moldy, but it certainly looks beaten and weirdly done and wet. One bar was broken. This one I think is just dirty. I gotta clean it up. Hopefully that's not mold. Anyways, and this is bar I think that comes through. There's probably another one on the other side here behind this board. But this holds up, I think, the concrete steps in the back, which the last time I looked under the deck, the crappy deck, there was a few inches, 4 inches or so, underneath, like it's not supported. It's just kind of hanging there. Either the ground's dropped, and because they had the deck there, they never checked. So I'm going to have to support it. I'm taking the deck apart in a month or whenever it's warm enough out there and dry enough to do it. Anyways, yeah, this is pretty messed up. Gross insulation. It's just dirt from the air coming through it. But I'm gonna pull it and replace it at some point. So one more piece to take off, and then later this afternoon I'll pull up another 5 or 6 planks of flooring to see how bad it is. I'm gonna get this stuff up to the garage. And anyways, what a job. So that's I've been doing this for like 3 hours. Not easy when you're getting old and when you're doing it on your own, but it's got to be done. All right. The rest of the wall, at some point I'm going to take the whole wall down. Anyways, section at a time. Flooring's going to go. There's crappy tile underneath. Really crappy tile. I'll scrape that up at some point too. At least I don't see any current water, moisture, whatever getting in at the moment. I'll have to talk to the neighbor and see if he's having any problems. The neighbors. Alright, that's it. Sound like Darth Vader. Oh, the action cam is charged again. And I'm taking up the floor. I feel like that light blue part is dry. That part's wet. And then the rest of it's wet. So I'll do a few more rows and call it a day because I'm white. 1, 2, 3. All right. Stick this over here so you can see me toil. There we go. I'm wearing a mask in case there's molds or whatever getting picked up as I pull these up. Pretty intense. Definitely not a lover of masks, as you can all tell, sure.